All right. I know some of y'all don't have an hour and a half, 2 hours to watch a podcast, so the GMG podcast is coming back. What we could do though is I think on Friday nights I'm gonna try something. We're gonna try it for one video. Friday nights I was gonna think about covering the news that happened that week, but it's gonna be real short. I could just run through all the stuff that happened. Yeah, I mean maybe some little opinions, some little smart remarks here and there. Y'all know how I get, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm liable to rant at any time, so y'all have to excuse me for that. And then I maybe would post that on Saturday. So we would talk about the news that happened all week and then the games that are coming out the next week. So some of y'all know what games are coming out. There ain't really nothing too crazy coming out next week. But let's get right into it. I don't even know what I'm gonna name this. Y'all can comment below and let me know what we should call this. First things first, Steam Machine. All right, I see people get excited about a Steam Machine, like, yo, this is really gonna be the next thing. People ain't gonna be able to afford this device, bro. All right. People, you think you're paying $500? You're not. I never thought it was going to be a $500 device anyway. So if you don't know, the Steam Machine was announced by Valve, and it was a really kind of a compact, kind of look like it doesn't really look a console. It was basically a mini PC. But you know, if you have a normal PC, they're like really big, and they're, you know, it's kind of hard if you need to, you know, kind of move your setup. I mean, you can, but it's a little bit annoying. Consoles are a little bit easier. You know what I mean? You can just pick it up, plug it in downstairs, bring it back upstairs, whatever. So the Steam Machine looks more in line with that. So people thought that price point was coming. Brother, it's not coming. All right. According to Linus Tech Tips, he was at some type of event or something like that where he was able to talk to some of the people at Valve, and he asked the real question, because you could show people all the hardware, software, and all the stuff you want. But people want to know how much this shit costs. So he basically said, was this going to be priced kind of in line with console prices? Now we do have, you know, the mid-gen refreshes, but he's not even looking at that. He's talking about like the base consoles. You're typically in a $400 to $500 range. So when he asked them about console prices, they said, well, what is a console price? Y'all know what the fuck a console price is. He said $500. They get that boy crickets. Ain't nobody say nothing. So that should tell you that this ain't gonna be no $500. These are niche things. I think they had this Steam Machine. The first one was that 2015 or something like that. I think it sold under 1 million units or something like that. I thought I seen that Wikipedia. I'm not expecting this to go crazy sales wise. I know a lot more people are definitely hopping into the PC thing, but there's still a price point thing that some people just aren't really willing to hop into. Not only that, but also here I have this here. Valve said that the Steam Machine is equal or better than 70% of what people have at home. A lot of these PC dudes is lying, man. They trying to say their hardware is crazy and all that. Boys, some of your boys is out here 720p. You're struggling to hit 1080. And I don't fill out the Steam surveys or anything like that. So I don't know where to pull this data from, but 70% is quite a lot. So they're saying that this device, and actually, there is a picture of it here. Hopefully I'm showing what's on my screen here. I mean, it's really nice. Like I said, it's compact. I like the way it looks, and it might be able to be something, but this is going to be up there with those handhelds that came out recently, where there are people that have them, but it's not going to be widespread. I only know a couple of the people that have the Valve handheld, or even like the Asus ROG Ally or anything like that. But so that's really kind of what's going on with the Valve and the Steam Machine. As we get more info, I will let y'all know. Let me know if y'all actually looking at buying this in the comment section. I know a couple people that said they were going to buy it. We'll see. Next up, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 becomes lowest rated COD ever. Players call it brain rot. This is according to Vice. Now, if you played the game, it ain't gotta be Black Ops 7, but if you played Black Ops 6, you would understand why people are calling the game brain rot. And I know people have been complaining about AI being used in the game. You know, everybody likes to say slop, AI slop, and all that kind of stuff. They rated this thing 1.5 stars out of 10, brothers. That's fucking ass. It ain't 1.5 out of 10 ass, but like it's definitely not what people expect from COD. But as of recently, I don't know why y'all standards are so high. What have they done to earn y'all trust out here like this? Did y'all see that campaign? I was gonna play the campaign on this channel until I seen it. You could actually be kicked playing solo. Did you hear what I just said? You can be kicked from the match in the campaign playing solo because who knows why. And that campaign wasn't it. That was disrespectful. Multiplayer, I'll save my opinions about the multiplayer for the podcast because I might go on a full-fledged rant, but people not messing with this. And then Battlefield, I did some stuff to Call of Duty I ain't seen since GTA 5 in 2013. And speaking of Battlefield, since we're already on the topic here, where is that Battlefield? Here we go. Battlefield 6. Now, I don't know what website this is. GameIndustry.biz. You got .biz in your shit. So, I'm trying to provide y'all with the sources because I ain't just pulling shit out my ass, okay? It says that Battlefield 6 debuted as the best-selling game of 2025 in the U.S. Now, I believe that, actually. So, it says the Nintendo... Why are they talking about Nintendo Switch on here? Anyway, people have been treating Call of Duty like it was a ginormous advertisement for Battlefield. And we'll see how it is long term. And this, I will say, to give Battlefield some credit, bro, you would forget that 2042 ever even happened. Like, that's how you fix your game. And that's how you that's how you apologize to your fan base, is by going from a 2042 into Battlefield 6, which is 1 year removed from 2042, bro. Y'all gotta admit that's kind of impressive. Call of Duty tried some stuff, and a lot of the things they tried was just because Battlefield 6 was so captivating to so many people. But we gotta realize that we kind of want these things done without that happening. But a lot of times with companies, they have to have competition in order for them to do what they're supposed to do. So we're gonna see if this is actually true. I wouldn't be surprised if this was slightly off, or maybe it debuted. Well, it does. It says debuted that way. But as far as shooters go, I don't care if COD is on Game Pass. All right, seeing a game outsell COD is surprising. I know y'all seen the Steam numbers. We don't need to get into that. But what we do need to get into is PUBG. PUBG has a Arc Raiders competitor playable next month. It is called PUBG Black Budget. There is a open beta playtest December 12th through the 14th and the 19th through the 21st. You can sign up for the beta on the Steam page. I've not touched PUBG in years, and I don't plan on touching that shit. Trey owes me $70 for making me buy that game for the PS4, by the way. That shit came with 2 different games. One of them was like a server setup. I don't even know what that was, a client setup. And the first game I played with him, I got stuck inside of a garbage can. So that's my last memory of PUBG. So we'll see how that goes. I know Arc Raiders is absolutely going crazy. I didn't actually buy the game. It's been a crazy like 6 weeks. So I've kind of been limited on games that I've been able to play outside of the normal. Yo, Slinky, relax. But we will see. We'll see what PUBG could do. But I know Arc Raiders is really, 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 it has a lot of people going crazy. And I think people will play it for a while. You know, a lot of times you see games and people playing them for like a couple weeks, a couple months, and then they just fizzle out. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's the Among Us, the Power Worlds. Oh, poor Splitgate. These games like that. So we'll see how long people stick on Arc Raiders. But the way it looks, you'll see people in there a while. So having a game that is a competitor to that, we'll kind of see how that goes. And here we go. Next up, since we're talking about live service games, we're going to have a couple topics that kind of are related to that. So, was Concord this year? I think Concord was this year. I didn't buy Concord. It didn't appeal to me at all. It looked super generic. And the problem with games that look generic, they might actually be good, but there's other games from that genre or that niche that have more character to them. So it's like, I would just get that instead. So when you have Marvel Rivals, and I mean, I know Overwatch is in bad shape as far as the fan reception and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of hard to jump into that. So Concord, boy, they spent hundreds of millions of dollars, and that shit lasted like 2 weeks. So there was a revival fan project where you were able to actually play the game. But, you know what I mean? In big wig fashion, I think they started sending cease and desist. We've seen this with several Nintendo fan games. We've seen this with now Concord, and we've also seen this with Call of Duty. There was a couple Call of Duty. Matter of fact, was that this year? Damn. I think that was early this year where there was a Was that a Modern Warfare remaster or something like that? It was a big thing, but you had to buy the original game on Steam to make it work. As soon as everybody bought that shit, they let everybody they got themselves and then went ahead and put the cease and desist out. So there is that. I forgot what that was actually called, but Concord Revival Fan Project is looking like they're gonna shut it all the way down. So it's kind of rough when you have fans, passionate fans, and they put together these crazy projects with small teams. It's pretty impressive, but I just feel like more than half the time they're told to cease and desist. And like Sony, y'all protecting Concord, that IP of all games. I don't think there's anything y'all can do to revive that. So let the fans do that shit for free. Man, I don't know what boys is on, bruh, but here we go. Let's move over to Ubisoft. And I feel like with Ubisoft, my boys, like no news is good news. So Ubisoft has received a billion whatever currency Tencent uses. I don't want to misrepresent. Whatever, man. So they have invested in Ubisoft, so they do have an investor. I know they were talking about they were kind of dealing with a lot of stuff over there. Now I work with Ubisoft; they're good people to work with, but we're not gonna look past that. Y'all boys, I don't know what happened to Ubisoft, but after the PS3, they just can't seem to figure it out. And I think Skull and Bones came out this year. Shit, ass. It's ass. Now here we go. Now why am I even talking about Ubisoft? Here's the title of this article. Ubisoft think full games are dying and people don't want to buy new releases. Well, guys, I'm going to tell y'all this. Do not let the game industry, big corporation, whoever's running these, don't let them gaslight y'all. Okay, because when things aren't going so well, they report great numbers and they come up with these weird metrics to tell you that their things are going well and they're not. But then every once in a while, there's just so much. It's not once in a while. There's often contradictions in what they're saying. When you have games like Expedition 33 and you know any of the other very successful games, Baldur's Gate, all these games that are story-based games, single player, you beat them, you have fun, you get off and you go to the next one. They're trying to gaslight people that have grew up playing those and still play those now to say that they're not sustainable and all that stuff, all the while doing other stuff. Do not let you do that. Are more people playing multiplayer games? Yes. Okay, but there are also more gamers in general. What has happened is there's an unrealistic expectation for revenues that is expected from single player games. And this is why they have storefronts in single player games. Ubisoft, y'all sell what y'all call time savers, and y'all have all these skins and all that stuff. For players like me who platinum y'all games, I platinum Assassin's Creed Shadows. Shout out to Ubisoft, they gave me the game early, but still, I platinum that. I put in like 140 hours on there. There's stuff as a person who has spent all the time in the game I can't earn. So I don't want to hear this full game are dying that people don't want to buy new releases. Like who are they talking about? Because every year when we look at the Game Awards, we see all these amazing games that people are going out and buying, and then we look at games that make liars out of the industry bigwigs all the time. You take a game like It Takes Two. It Takes Two came out a few years ago. One game of the year. That guy, that studio, like, they're just amazing. First off, and it's the same thing with Split Fiction. It's the same studio. You only had to buy one copy of the game because he didn't want people to feel like they all had to buy a copy. Yeah, everybody could have bought a copy and they could have took everybody's money. But like, if I bought that game, I could pick anybody from this chat and play with them and give you a friend code. You wouldn't even have to buy the game. You have to download it. I would give you my friend code. You'd be able to play with me. Who's doing that? That game was successful. There's plenty of successful games that aren't out here trying to make absurd amounts of money through recurrent user spending. But see, we're talking about this topic too long. But you know, Ubisoft is saying this, and here's the thing. Here's the contradiction. Okay, I wanted to provide y'all with a little bit of insight on what I'm talking about. So y'all think full games are dying, but they're saying that because of the lack of success for X-Defiant, for Hyperscape. I don't know how Rainbow Six is doing. I don't know how the Division's doing. These are live service games, but it's really hard to break into that because there's the juggernauts, the Fortnites, and the Call of Duties, and Battlefield, and Madden, and FIFA, and NBA 2K, and all these games and more they are always the games that everybody go back to. Y'all are trying to break into the mold to beat juggernauts on games that a lot of times aren't. They just don't measure up. They don't. It is what it is. So anyway, Ubisoft, y'all are saying that you think full games are dying. Then why the fuck did y'all decide that y'all were going to do 10 Assassin's Creed games before 2030? This was just October. Look, October 4th of 2024. A company that thinks a thing is dying, when something is dying over time, you can really see it. So with that in mind, why would y'all make 10 Assassin's Creed games? Where's Splinter Cell? Where's a real Prince of Persia game? Where's a real new South Park game? Just to name a few. If I really want to tell y'all, if y'all get time to go on Wikipedia and type in Ubisoft and look at the long list of IPs that they're sitting on, amazing games and franchises that have been sitting and not being used for decades. But they're not going to bring in the live service money, so there's that. So also, when it comes to Ubisoft, I have several tabs open. If y'all think single player games are dying, this isn't confirmed, but according to IGN, Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, a release date got leaked. Set to arrive the end of its current financial year on March 31st, 2026. That's not the release date, but it's saying it's set to release before that. This is what I'm saying. What are these guys talking about? And Skull and Bones is one of the that was another game that they tried to put out and it just didn't work. Here's another tab. Assassin's Creed franchise exceeded our expectations. Assassin's Creed Shadows is overperforming, according to Ubisoft, set to reach a broader audience soon thanks to its new Nintendo Switch 2 port. November 21st, 2025. What is all the contradiction going on? And the reason I'm putting these articles up here, and I'm going to try to put all the links to these articles in the description for anybody that wants to look, is because I'm not making this shit up. It's on here. I mean, come on, man. You know. Here we go. Next up. Back to PlayStation live service, because we're still talking about it. NC Soft unveiled Horizon Steel Frontiers, a new MMORPG set in the Horizon universe. I'm a huge Horizon fan, but I think I don't think the IP is as big as Sony thinks it is, especially after the Nintendo collab. That didn't go over well. That was like the lowest day one player count I've seen on Steam for a big game in a long time. Now it's set in the lands of machine hunters known as Deadlands. Basically, it's going to give you the Horizon gameplay, and Horizon could be super fun with friends. I love playing it solo though. Maybe those machine designs are really chef's kiss for me. But we'll kind of see how it goes. I think they're also working on a movie and things like that. I do think the IP is strong, but I think they need more time to kind of build up the audience before expanding. But that's me though. But anyway, so another live service game that is what PlayStation's working on. They also, I think earlier this year or late last year or sometime last year, I'm not sure when, but when all the acquisition was going on with Xbox, there were changes made over here. I think Jim Ryan left, and they had all these like 13 live service games planned. I'm gonna tell you right now, that live service mode is rough to get into, and if we allow the industry to tell us that single player games don't do anything and don't make money, we're gonna end up they're going to be very few of those. So I think the industry is making its way back to some type of balance where the smaller AA studios are giving us crazy good games while we wait on the $200 million huge budget games. Think about like Black Myth Wukong, and think about Expedition 33 and Metaphor and Split Fiction and all these games. You know what I mean? And think about Nintendo games. Anyway, though. So here we go. Since we're talking about smaller studio games that kind of people took to, Dispatch. I played Dispatch on here. I'm currently playing it right here. I'm about halfway through the game on episode 5 right now. This is for huge story-based gamer fans, Telltale people. I think according to this, they are approaching 2 million in sales. And I really love seeing games without big budgets and huge hype get that hype through word of mouth. To me, is better seeing that than like spending hundreds of $1 millions on marketing and then just having it fall flat. Because when you have confidence in your product and you know the word of mouth is going to get out there, you can put more into the project or the potential sequel and not have to worry that if it doesn't go well, we're going to close our doors. So if you're not checked out Dispatch, I know it's not the game that like a lot of people even still know about yet, but I think this is going to be one of those games over time. More and more people want to get it. I don't know what the sales are going to kind of top off at, but 2 million is pretty good. But the problem is there's bigger companies who they would only sell 2 million, only 2 million, and they fucking lose their minds. But the game industry standards have gotten so outrageously high. And it's really revenue based. It has nothing to do with copies of the game. But Dispatch, shout out to Dispatch. I'm really having a blast playing this. Moving on to this is some bullshit, but I'm gonna tell y'all this anyway. So according to Vice.com, GTA 6 could be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, according to a new leak. Good luck with that. It's not gonna happen. Nate the Hate, excuse me. I'm sorry. He had said that they're doing tests to bring it to the Switch 2. I believe it when I see that. Okay. GTA is not even going to the PC day and date, so you gotta wait a year plus for it to come on PC. We'll see about the Switch, but if you got a Switch and a Switch only, hopefully you get GTA 6, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that shit. All right, moving on. Lastly, here we go. Before we go, this went a little longer than I expected, but 20 minutes ain't too bad. I'm gonna try to keep these 20 minutes or less if I can. Here we go. So the Game Awards. The Game Awards is set to take place December 11th, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. So the big nominees, I'm just going to scroll down here. The big one is Game of the Year. Now, I see these nominees, and I did not play Kingdom Come Deliverance yet, and I have not played, I haven't played these three. But I seen how good these games look. I agree with these nominations. In fact, I think I predicted 4 of these. Exodus 33 is going to wipe the floor, in my opinion. If that the game does not win, I will be pleasantly surprised. I'm just going to tell you guys. Everything, if you're on the fence, everything that you're hearing about Expedition 33, positive, the game is like that. I'm telling you, the whole premise, I don't want to give away any spoilers. If you play the game, I want you to get the very beginning when they're introducing the characters, is a little slow. Once you get past that, and I can't remember what it's called, but once they enter the battle section, dudes, you have no idea. You should play it. It's made by a whole bunch of old developers who work for Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, and all that stuff. And this is what happens when people are able to be passionate about art and not just put on projects by companies that they know are popular. So you have all these really people with these great minds and ideas, and they're like, hey, just work on Forza, just work on Madden, just work on whatever. You know what I mean? Assassin's Creed. So anyway, that game, I played at that time. I think I was on the game for about 2 hours. We've been playing games long enough. I was like, this is game of the year. Death Stranding, phenomenal game in my opinion. I predicted that. Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm actually going to play that. My Switch 2 is still in the box. It's hilarious. Hades 1 and 2, need to play those. Hollow Knight, Silk Song. This fan base, they're crazy. All right, they're gonna lose their shit if this doesn't win. But I can't see Expedition 33 losing. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, where y'all go, which one of these? What game would you, if you had? What game do you think should have been nominated for Game of the Year and is not? I know I'm going to see some Ghost of Yotes out there, but I'm going to be real with you guys. I owe you guys a review for Ghost of Yote, Metal Gear, and still Death Stranding 2. Especially with these nominations up, I think it's a good time. I'm going to work on those. I thoroughly enjoyed all the games, but I don't know that Ghost of Yote is actually better than these games on here. But I have not played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, so I can't say. You can kind of just scroll down on here, but if you're trying to get on here, again, the links are in the description. I think that's it. There's not any major releases coming out next week. If there were, I would tell you guys. But I think we'll do this. I could try to condense this down a little bit, but I think this is the best I could do. 24 minutes ain't too bad. Thank you guys for watching. Comment below. Let me know what y'all think. I gotta go to bed, though. It's late as fuck. It's 1:15 a.m., but I'm doing this for y'all. We're adding this in addition to all the other stuff we do. We just mixing up on the channel. We got reactions and all that kind of stuff. In fact, I am set to react to the Xbox, the last showcase, in a couple days. So I'll see y'all then. And then also, fuck Midnight Club 2. Bye.